Welcome to F1 Visa Tales, where we delve into the diverse and often unpredictable journeys of international students navigating the F1 visa process. I am your host, Raymond Aivo, and today we have a panel of three remarkable guests sharing their unique stories of triumphs and challenges, from overcoming administrative reviews to traveling across borders and navigating visa acquisition amidst geopolitical changes. So who do we have here today?
Hello everyone, this is Parwana Hamdam from Afghanistan.
Hello everyone, my name is Akosia Denchi and I'm from Ghana.
Hi everyone, my name is Cletus from Ghana.
Cletus, so you are a first-year graduate student. Can you share with us your experience in terms of navigating the F1 visa process?
Yeah, so thanks Raymond. The first thing I did was that I had my admission early January, and I had to wait for my I-20 to be issued. So I finally got the I-20, and getting a date in Ghana was terrible. So I spoke to one or two friends, and they advised that I go to any nearby country. So I settled on going to Abidjan, and from Ghana to Abidjan is roughly 13 hours by land. So I settled on State Transport Company, STC. So I left Ghana on Sunday because I had the interview on Monday. Ghana on Sunday and got to Abidjan around 50 p.m. So it was late and I couldn't get a place to sleep. So I had to sleep at the bus station for the night and moved the next morning to the embassy, the U.S. embassy.
Cletus, apart from having to sleep at the bus station, what other challenges or complexities did you have to navigate?
I think the first thing that was challenging was the language, because I told you that Abidjan, they speak French, and coming from Ghana. So when I got to the embassy, it's like the person who was at the entrance was speaking French. And then my time was 9:30, and I got to the embassy around 7. I was among the first 5 people who came. So I was thinking it was first come, first serve. And the guy there he spoke in French, that somebody translated to me that, does anyone here who is an American? So that was the first question he asked, and then nobody got up. And then he asked, is there anyone who is French? And then nobody, I think 1 or 2 people also got up. So the rest of us who were there were from, I could count more than 20, 30 people who were coming from Ghana to be given visa in Abidjan. So language was one major thing.
Parwana, you had a similar experience as Cletus, having to travel to Pakistan to get your visa. Can you share your experience with us?
I have similar experience as my colleague, but it was not because of the delay in having appointment. It happened because of some political changes in my country. Due to that, the U.S. embassy closed their door in Afghanistan. So I had my appointment with me, but there was no place to go and do the interview. That's why I applied for Pakistan visa. Although having Pakistan visa at that time was very challenging, but I succeeded to get the visa and travel to Pakistan to have my appointment and interview in U.S. embassy in Pakistan.
Were issued a 1-year visa for a 2-year program. How is that impacting your stay in the U.S., if I should ask?
It might be very funny because I applied for a 2-year master's program and I got the visa for 1 year, which is really affecting because if there is any conference happen in my second year, if I wanted to go back home to visit my family, but I cannot do that because I only have for 1 year visa, which is really affecting and limiting my opportunities to participate any conference, symposium, which is related to my field outside of the United States.
Akosia, can you also walk us through your F1 visa journey?
So the first time I applied for US visa was in 2019 when I gained admission to Ohio University and I was given GRS. I didn't know much about what GRS entailed. So when I went for the interview, I guess I was a bit naive. So I was denied for the visa. And in 2021, I reapplied and I gained admission to Ohio University again. But this time, before I got the visa, I was put under administrative review.
Akosia, how did you navigate the whole administrative review episode with Ohio University, ensuring that your admission was maintained when your visa and coming to the US was delayed?
So when While I was in administrative review, I kept on emailing the school. I made sure the school was hearing from me at least, so that they wouldn't think I had just accepted the offer and they are not hearing anything from me.
When the news finally broke that, your visa has been mailed to you, what was the feeling like?
Okay, so actually they didn't even break the news to me that my visa had been mailed. So I sent American Embassy about 50 messages. I was always sending them messages. I was sending them emails, sorry. So I was monitoring from their website. Someone sent me a link that you can actually check if your visa had been approved or not. So I saw issued and I was like, oh my God, they've issued the visa. So how do I go about it? The following day, it was on Thursday when I saw the issued. So the following day, I called them and the lady sent me a very diplomatic email, responded. She said, and Priscilla, we've issued your visa, but I think you have to contact DHL because all issued visas are sent there. And I knew DHL doesn't work on Saturday. And I've promised Ohio University that I'll get here before 30th. And they kept sending me email. This was around 3rd September. I was like, no, I can't wait till Monday to hear from DHL. So that evening, Friday, around 4 something, I picked a taxi. I went to DHL. DHL had not sent me an email that my visa was ready. My passport was with them. I went there and the guy told me they've not sent me any email. So why am I here? And I was like, my brother, you have to help a sister in need. I really need my passport. And he said, this is the list they have. My name is not here. And I was like, no, did you receive any passport from the embassy today? And he was like, yes. I said, please go and check the sack. My passport is in that, is in that sack. He was like, hey, you this young lady? I was like, yes, go and check. If you don't check, I'm not leaving here today. And he said, okay, sit down. So I had to sit for him to attend to all the customers there. When he finished, it was almost 6 p.m. And he went to open the sack that came from American Embassy. Those passports, they were going to release them on Monday. So when he checked, he called me. He said, young lady, you are very fortunate. Your passport is here. I was like, I told you it's there. Give me my passport and let me go.
Sharing that feeling with the denial when you first applied, how was it like when you got denied?
Oh, when I got denied, to be sincere, it didn't really affect me that much because I was a bit naive. I was doing everything on my own. So even when I think they asked me who is sponsoring me, and I was there looking at the woman. What do you say again? I was so passive about the whole process. I was very passive because I thought I was not much prepared financially because at that time my family we were facing a little financial challenges. So I was convincing myself that even if I get this, getting the funds to travel was going to be a little challenge for my family. So I was willing to go and work. So my first denial, to be sincere, it didn't really affect me. It didn't affect me at all.
Now, I would like to take your final words to other prospective international students who are preparing, to apply for the F1 visa to come and study in the US. Let's start with Parwana.
For you to not struggle with the process, maybe it's good for international students to, besides of applying for the admission for the university, they can apply for funding. The another aspect, I feel that maybe they can start the process a bit early to not struggle with appointment, because usually it takes a lot of time for international students to have appointment. So I suggest maybe they can apply a bit early to have enough time to go through all this process, because this is a lengthy process and a bit complicated. So students need more time to focus, to reflect, and at the same time to go through all this process.
Akosia, what advice do you have to give?
Okay, for me, I will start by saying that before you want to travel outside, you, the individual, should prepare very well. Preparing in terms of psychological preparation, financial preparation. Because trust me, this studying abroad thing, it entails money. Because even this year, I've had a couple of friends back home reaching out to me that they want to apply. And most of them, they don't want to pay the application fee, which I sometimes I find it to be very funny. Because once you've psyched your mind that you want to travel abroad, you should prepare, because you have to pay application fees, you have to pay for your service fee, and you have to pay for your DS-160 as well. And just prepare yourself financially.
Cletus, your final words.
I believe in planning, and planning start from what you put in, because when I went to Abidjan, what I saw most people were denied was because plan very well. Plan in terms of how you fill your DS-164. Because I could see that there were discrepancies between what was put on the DS-160 form and what was being said at the consulates that day. So I could see that there was one guy who was denied, and the viewer asked him, "You completed university 2017. In 2023, you're coming to do your master's in the United States. Why that long gap?" And person wasn't, because he didn't prepare for that. Because if you are really want to travel, you should make sure that you consume all avenues so that you don't find yourself wanting. And as Akosia mentioned, you need to be financially stable, because the process begins from day one. Application fee, service fee, visa fee, and flight, everything is money. Even though if you're giving full funding, you still have to have those things, so that when you come, because even when you enter the United States, you are not going to get the funding just as you have arrived. It will take you some time, so you need to come with some money so that you can secure one or two things for yourself. So I believe in planning.
Yes, so if you want to travel abroad to study, be prepared to put in the work. On that note, we'll draw the curtains down on this episode of F1 Visa Tales. But before we do that, I want to express my sincerest gratitude to our incredible guest, Akosia, Cletus, and Parwana, for sharing their inspiring and informative stories with us. Their journeys highlight resilience, determination, and diverse paths international students navigate to pursue education in the United States of America. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more F1 Visa Tales. Until next time, this is your host, Raymond Ayivo.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there.